Okay, you're going to have to pardon my speech here. Past couple weeks, I've been having dental surgery. That's kind of why I've decided to not do the podcast anymore. I get tired of getting bleeded out of 20 bucks a month for a podcast that I'm not uploading podcasting material to. So in the future, I will be uploading videos to Facebook. And whenever I do get back into the podcasting thing, they will be uploaded straight to the webpage, civildisobedience.com, after I redo the podcast page and set up a player. I want to say thank you for joining me and support. I want to take a few minutes here. There's a couple things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is this Facebook Live bullshit that they have. I understand why Facebook and Twitter and all these other social media outlets decided that they wanted to use the live idea. But given humanity and the way people act nowadays, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise to see that it's being used in a negative way. I can't tell you how. There's been several murders, some rapes, some beatings, broadcast live, several suicides. Unfortunately, I think it's time for social media to end this experiment. It's a shame that there are people out there in this world who feel the need to broadcast this kind of crap live. Unfortunately, there's only one way to end it, and that is to do away with it. There used to be a time when live broadcasts were monitored, and they were done by people that were responsible enough to act in a certain manner, and I guess some of these individuals here, we were expecting way too much for them to even act as human. The other thing I want to talk about are these anti-Trump protests. What we had, the Women's March, where these people walked around with pink pussy hats on their heads, and now we had the tax day protests, where these people are calling for Trump to release his taxes. His tax returns. I would like to see Trump's tax returns, not because I'm interested in how much he's paying, because I would like to see who he's donating money to. But at the same time, I also understand his point of view where he doesn't have to release them. There's no law that states that the president needs to release his taxes. And I'll support him either way it goes. I would like to see him do it, but when these anti-fascist thugs, which is, it's really hilarious that they actually have the balls to stand there with anti-fascism banners and signs and everything else, while acting in a completely fascist way, to use violence to suppress our voice. And I guess for a while they thought after the election, and they had their little temper tantrum, and the riot at Berkeley when Milo was going to speak, that there was no recourse for them, that they thought that they were going to get away with this bullshit a little bit longer than they have been. I've recently uploaded a few videos here. I know one of them's from Red Elephant on YouTube, showing these Trump supporters and patriots and veterans fighting back against these little bastards. If you have the balls to stand up for your value system, why do you have to hide your face? Why do you feel the need to hide your face? You don't see me hiding my face. Even whenever I was speaking out against the Obama administration or whatever I see that's wrong, I'm not going to hide my face. I at least have the balls for people to look at me and know who I am and be able to come up to me, and hopefully in a civil manner, and discuss my point of view with me, whether you agree with it or whether you don't. If you agree with it, I'll have a nice conversation with you. If you don't, we're going to have a debate. But if you want to go fist the cuffs, I may be injured, I'll still knock you the F out. Not a problem. And I'm pretty sure right now that over half of America feels the same way I do. We're tired of it. We're sick of it. You want to know why Trump won the election? You look at his supporters. And you look at these veterans that are tired of being shit on by little punks in black masks and left-wing lunatics who think that Syrian refugees and illegal aliens should get better treatment than our veterans and better than our citizens. Ain't gonna happen anymore. It's done. It's over with. The election is over with. Trump won. You can pout. You can throw your temper tantrums, but when you put your hands on other individuals during these protests, you can expect an ass whooping to come down on you. An eye for an eye. You know, the good book says, do unto others as you'd have done unto you. If you want to mace people and throw bombs made out of M80s and peanut butter jars, you're going to get your ass handed to you pretty quick, because these people that I've seen in these videos, they weren't backing down from the bombs and the pepper spray. As a matter of fact, I heard them yelling charge and running these little punks completely out of town and onto the streets. These little thugs have pushed and pushed and pushed. For 8 years, we have been pushed and pushed and pushed. And if you think that we weren't gonna push back, you're sadly mistaken. Whenever I created the term civil disobedience, it was to stand up against the Obama administration and his attack on Christianity and his attack on the Second Amendment. And now it's going to be the left wing's attack on our rights to be able to assemble and support our president or any other thing that we deem the need to stand up for and support without being attacked. And if you want to attack us, we're going to attack you back. The police were nowhere. They bailed in Berkeley. They bailed in Huntington Beach. They don't want no part of this. And I for one am actually glad to see veterans and patriots and oath keepers who took an oath to uphold and defend this Constitution in this country against enemies of foreign and domestic. And to me, some little bastard with a mask on his face trying to suppress our voice is an attack on our freedom. Nothing more, nothing less. You are trying to violate our First Amendment rights of free speech. I took that oath twice. And then I took it again whenever I joined the Pennsylvania State Militia and the Oath Keepers. That's an open-ended oath. And if you think for 1 second that I am going to bow down and be afraid to get my ass kicked because I'm afraid of you, you're sadly mistaken. I grew up in the South, where I firmly believe an ass kicking heals. Being somebody's bitch doesn't. And if I have to stand up and defend my country against you little punks, and I get my ass kicked, hey, I'll wear that black eye and broken nose with honor. I'll be glad to go on Facebook and say, yeah, you know what, I got my ass kicked today at a pro-Trump rally. Defending my right to speak my mind. Because I'm nobody's bitch. And neither are, and we're done dealing with it. It's sad. It really is. It's sad that the left-wing lunatics have resorted to this type of tactic. That Black Lives Matter has influenced them so much, and they're filled with so much hatred for anybody that doesn't feel the way that they feel or have the same viewpoints that they have, that they feel the need to throw a jar full of M80s in a crowd full of people, to maim, murder, and seriously injure individuals for thinking different than they do, to pepper spray people. And what's going to happen is the next time these types of rallies take place, I can almost guarantee you that that type of tactic is going to be returned. These little bastards have been calling for revolution since Trump won the election. We talked about it on Facebook that it's time for the 3%ers and the patriots and the militias to stand up to the Obama administration. We didn't take to violence to do it. Because sometimes, if violence is going to be used, it needs to be the other side that initiates it. And that's been initiated. If these little punks want revolution, then they damn well need to understand what it means to stand your ground instead of turning around and running like a bunch of little punks. Because time and time again, whenever they've been shown that we're not putting up with it anymore, they bolt, they run, they cry, and the liberal media backs them up. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being labeled a xenophobe and a racist and a homophobe. I'm none of them. I have friends of all colors from different nations and of all different sexualities. They're decent individuals. I have no problem having friends who think different than I do, as long as they're civil about it. And don't feel the need to lecture me. About my choice of religion, or whether the fact that I own a gun, or whether I own an AR-15, or own a pit bull, or something else that these little liberal punks seem to be afraid of. The time for choosing has come. They've chosen violence. Violence begets violence. They need to take a long, hard look about the message that they want to send and the way that they want to be treated. Because from what I'm starting to see now, they're getting the treatment that they want. Stay disobedient, folks. Don't bow, don't cower down. Keep the faith. Thank you.